the ball. Let's go. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I have no idea what I'm going to film today, but I just thought I'd pick up the camera and start recording. It's currently Wednesday morning. I am starting the day the best way possible with a walk with Mr. Odin. Walk him pretty much every day for an hour or so, but today's the day off, so I'm going to try and walk him a little bit longer. He's going to have a good little wander in the bushes. He likes to disappear into there and come out maybe with a ball. On every walk he finds a ball, cricket ball, football, hockey ball, because we're right by a hockey pitch. So we'll see if he gets any of those today. But yeah, just gonna take you through the day, get another typical day. Well, not typical day. I'm off from work, but I'm still gonna go and train. And then, yeah, see what I decide to do today. And enjoy the sun while it lasts. And the day couldn't start without a Cannonball coffee. I'm using the Cannonball blends. I would highly recommend you check them out. You can buy a bundle, the Cannonball blend, the Iron Bar Espresso and the Maximum Charge. There's the other two flavours. You can buy them in a bundle. Very nice, try them out. And they also do coffee bags as well for when you're on the go. I'm not affiliated with them or sponsored, but if you're watching, hit me up. That'll be a great first sponsor or affiliation. Also, I posted this question on Threads. If you're not following me, go follow me there. Same as my Instagram, jam_strength_coaching, I think. Or it's the link in my Instagram. You know, follow me there. Go follow me, the link will be below. But which end do you open your banana, from the top or from the bottom? You can have those open from the bottom, just because I think funny enough I saw a monkey do it and thought I'd try and also get rid of that black bit, although it's still there, which is comment below which way you open your banana. Cut, open, bottom, no, that's the top, that's the bottom. And here is breakfast: big bowl of mini wheat, banana, protein, honey, cinnamon, salt, coffee, and of course Mr. Odin chilling in the cool after his walk. Now before I get stuck into this, I just thought I'd update you all, as I may have a new issue/injury, or a little niggle in my right hip. So left one was a bad hip, now right one's playing up. On Monday just gone, on my SBD day, I was filming like a glute activation kind of video, and then did my heavy squats. And then during deadlifts I felt like going to sort of tying up my sort of QL SI glute med, which was great. So it means I couldn't bend over, but I carried on deadlifting anyway. I missed a rep at 200, got annoyed, made one rep, went for another one, didn't go up, well, failed it, and then threw that tantrum, which I will put on the screen here, and it's been tight since then. I've been struggling to put on my socks and shoes. That is great. Lifting is fun, but it's eased a bit today, so we'll see how we get on in today's session as Odin goes down the side of the house. I don't know if you're seeing that. Yep. Nice and cool there. It's a bit of a draft. So yeah, we're gonna test out on today's box squats. Probably keep things light and just fingers crossed that doesn't get any worse. So just before we get into the session, I thought I'd talk a bit about glute activation, since that's what I was doing, what I believe sort of maybe solve this issue. Now it's something I've started reincorporating into my warm-ups, so I'm going to take you through what I've added on. Now obviously glute activation, some people argue it's not always needed because your glutes are never inactive, they're always active, like when you're walking about and whatnot, but they can become sort of inactive, as I call it, like glute amnesia, because I spend a lot of time sat down, and if you spend a lot of time sat down, they can almost switch off, other muscles take on the load. And obviously a lot of that is the hip flexors. Now if they are tight, it's not necessarily they are tight, but they are weak, and also the other muscles around aren't doing their job. So obviously having strong active glutes can help ease any knee pain and lower back pain, because they sort of not doing the job. If the glutes start doing the work, they should both ease. Mainly these movements are to get the glutes active and to help with any sort of knee cave, which I've started to notice I'm not getting worse at, but that's starting to creep back into my squats. Now, obviously, knee cave is not necessarily a bad thing, as obviously your adductor magnus, that helps drive up the squatting. I can't quite put into words what I'm trying to say, but if you obviously Google it, I should know this, but the adductor magnus is involved in driving the legs down. If you look at Chinese weightlifters, their knees will cave in quite a bit, but they've all got very strong squats, so it's not always a bad thing. But to help counteract it, these sort of my warm-up movements, which is a side plank climb. So band just above the knees, legs rough 90 into that side plank, and then open up the hips. And I'm going for sort of 15 or so on each side. Again, I cannot talk and count at the same time, because I'm not very good at multitasking. Is that about 15? I don't know. I'll have to rewatch it and count. 15 done into a banded glute bridge band, stays where it is. Feels better backside. Try up and push these out, hold it for a second or two at the top. Again, I'm going for 15 reps. And on to some fire hydrants. Again, working on that glute med. Onto all fours, keep that core engaged. Just knee up and out to the side. Make sure that back doesn't rotate too much. Really focus, keep it on the glutes as the hip flexor can't take over. I think I was telling each side, so I go through that twice. Just to make sure those glutes are nice and active. And I also do it on my first set of squats, just to make sure they're working through that movement. Now, they're not always necessary, but they're good to add into one if you want to get that better mind-muscle connection. Obviously, you don't want to go crazy, and obviously, there are specific ones you can do before each movement. So, for example, like I've just done some for before squats, which is mainly for that glute med, obviously glutes to the... Oh, start again. I got a breath already. So, there are specific ones you can do for each movement. For example, squats. A lot of people have that knee cave, so things to work on taking it out to the side. So, the side plank clams, fire hydrants, crab walks, bangos, red ankles, sort of mini steps to the sides. Before hip thrusts, like glute bridges like I've just done, hip thrusts, all that kind of thing. Hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on glute activation if you do it before your sessions. Also, I'd say that I personally do like glute activation, as I just feel it helps get them firing, really gets my hips loosened off. But also shows I'm lazy and don't do as much mobility as I should. Now I'm starting to think of these midweek sessions as my lower body power endurance sessions, keeping everything relatively low reps on the lifting and then high volume on the conditioning to build that endurance. Starting out again with box squats, same as previous sessions, 3 reps every 90 seconds at 5 kilos heavier than last week for 8 total sets. And something I've noticed the last few weeks, again, probably shouldn't be too concerned, but you should see from the side that my right foot is slightly behind my left, so I'm a bit twisted. I'm not sure if that's because of my shoulder or just previous hip issues, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I felt all these all move generally quite well, so I look to bump these up for another week and then swap them out for paused squats. Moving on to hip thrusts, which are one of my favourite exercises, closely behind trap bar, deadlift and squats, because of their transover they have to a variety of other movements. And there's 2 things you want to consider when setting up for hip thrust. You want to choose a pretty solid surface that is just around tibia height, so bottom half of your leg. This is just below my knee height, which is perfect. And also, you're probably going to want to grab a bar pad, which is probably the only thing it should be used for. It should not be used on squats, like I mentioned in a previous video. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. It should be 1 or 2 videos back. And they also help me not just overcome my nagging lower back injury that happened years ago on motoring and my more recent left hip issue, but how I felt they helped me on my previous powerlifting prep, where I feel they had quite a big impact on my numbers. It's also great they give you a great pair of powerful glutes. I also don't see a lot of fellas doing hip thrusts or training glutes directly in general, but it's something I'd highly recommend and something I program in a lot of for the members of the gym. And for today's hip thrust, I had 5 sets of 8 reps at 140 kilos, going every 2 minutes. And a few points when performing hip thrusts: you want to have a nice 90-degree angle between your shin and thigh to ensure all the work is being done by your glutes. If you're feeling in your hamstrings, you'll feel like it's too far forwards, and if you're feeling in your quads, you'll feel a bit too far back. Also, what I find helps is that if you tuck your chin, it can help you keep a neutral spine, and obviously holding the bar in place, pushing down into hips. And you also want to think about pivoting around the box your upper back, and not just dropping your hips down, which can lead to your upper back arching. Moving on to a nice and simple upper body bodybuilding superset of incline dumbbell bench and incline dumbbell rows. Now, it's nothing magic or more beneficial, I just like doing them as it takes up less time. Now, doing these presses with a 4-12 angle keeps the stress off the shoulders, allowing for more depth, getting a better stretch on the pec, which will ultimately lead to more gains. And for the rows, something I've talked about previously is letting the shoulders fall forwards around the bench. This gets more of a stretch across the upper back and lats. Now, most people try and row, keeping their backs flat and chest up, missing out on the extra stretch and range. So give it a go next time you do any sort of row movement and see how much better it feels. Moving on to the conditioning, as mentioned in previous video, I tend to pick and choose what I do for conditioning for my midweek session, but keep it Hyrox specific, so any of the 8 movements that are in Hyrox. So for today's session was sled push and walking lunges, going for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 lengths on the sled push, with 20 walking lunges after each set of sled push. I also want to share a few tips on the sled push. As you can see, I'm doing this a little bit differently with a almost reverse grip. Again, this helps keep your shoulders fresh and tips the weight forward. As I've heard, the turf at Hyrox can be very tough and slow to get moving. And another tip is to break before you are broken. Nobody's going to go unbroken at Hyrox, and or if you do, you'll just burn out. This is something I learned in my CrossFit days, breaking 2 to 3 reps, or in this case strides before failure. Otherwise, again, you risk that burnout and just performance dropping significantly. And with the sled push only being seconds on the day, you want to keep those legs relatively fresh for the rest of the event. For the walking lunges, I used 2 12.5 kilo dumbbells because the weight of the sandbag will be 25. For the first few rounds, I did try and keep the dumbbells on my shoulder to try and mimic that sandbag, but my right shoulder wasn't enjoying it, so I just held them by my sides for the rest of the session, finishing with a time of 13 minutes and 44 seconds, which was later beaten by another coach and member of the gym, so I'll be doing it again very soon. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gents. That is the end of the session. I'll probably end this vlog here. Okay, that session took a little longer than usual, just over 2 hours, because I was just filming, getting all the good angles and all that, you know what I mean, for the YouTubes. Film some content for Instagram. But I'm gonna head home, obviously shower because I'm dripping in sweat. It's just disgusting how much I sweat. Quick bite to eat, and then it's off to the girlfriend's because she's cooking for me and it is date night. So I'm looking forward to that. Gotta go and dress to impress and all that. I'll let me know in the comments, because this has been a mix of GoPro and my camera. Let me know if you've liked it, if I should continue swapping between the cameras, because I'm still not quite as confident walking around with the big camera as I need to get, because it's sometimes better, because sometimes the GoPro can be quite wide angle. So let me know what you think. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you're new, smash that subscribe. As always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.